Good morning, all of you. I hope you have missed me because I have missed you. Now, you have seen I was not around for a while, and it was July and summer and all those stuff, so let that car pass the window. Yes, it's gone. Good. Welcome back to Dreamtalks! Woo! It's fun to be back. Today, I want to talk about one specific topic I've had in mind for a while, and that's the topic of the world as a whole. Sounds weird. Calm down. Calm. I will figure it. We'll figure it out together. It will be fine. So no problem. We live in a time where you get told tons of stuff, details that are going to affect the world as a whole. Basically, if you use a certain deodorant or whatever, you will get all the ladies because, of course, that would change your entire life and you will be that amazing. And we all know that's a lie, but it's commercials and they keep fooling us, so they must work somehow. So that's one thing. And then there is another thing. Okay. The lie of school is that if you do the correct thing in school, if you are doing good in school, you will get a great job, you will be happy ever after. And I call this a lie because it's definitely not the truth. Not that learning stuff is not important. Learning stuff is among the most important thing you can do in life. And you should never, ever pass a moment where you can learn something new. Because one day, one of those knowledge will be very useful to have. And if not, that knowledge will lead to another knowledge that will be useful to have. And school is a great thing because it gives you a lot of knowledge, compact. The problem with school in most world countries, I've been into this in my dream ranting thing in Stick Patrol, and I will not go back to just ranting about it. But what I mean is that school is not all that it's made up to be. You learn so much more stuff from doing different things in life than what you do from just being in school. And my personal opinion is that the school system of the world needs a remake, so it's better adapted to the time we are in right now. Anyway, when I'm talking about the world as a whole, it's important to keep that in mind. The world as a whole. It's not as a whole, but as a whole. Sorry, couldn't not do that joke, and it was not a very good one, but I need to do it anyway. The thing with the world as a whole is that it's hard to always keep in mind exactly what the details are in the whole perspective. But the thing is that there's nothing that you say or do that doesn't affect your life as a whole. There is so much things in life that are connected in this huge web of events and choices. And the thing is that if you're very worried about, oh my god, if I mess this up, I will screw up my entire life, it's good to remember that that's not true. Because the world as a whole is so much bigger. It's so much more complicated. And the web of life is not just something that you can undo even if you snap one of the lines that you are currently working with. There are so many other attachments to reality. You don't have to worry about that. You can basically screw up all of them, but the only way to do so is to get into crime or drugs or everything like that and lose control of your life in general. In that case, things can really, really be screwed up. But normally, not even that can disconnect you from at least one of the attachments of the world as a whole. There are so many choices and possibilities in life that even if you screw up what you think is super important right now, even if that would be a school education thing, you will get another chance. There is another chance. There is another way to go. Yes, it's important to try to succeed what you're doing. I'm not saying that you should not just care because, what the fuck, I got another chance. That mentality won't get you anywhere. And that will eventually screw you up that bad that you will be in a really bad spot. Screwing up is not a good thing. You should always try to, succeed what you're doing. But if something goes bad, if you get a bad grade, if you do something dumb, if you have a bad teacher, because that's a thing, you can definitely have a teacher that suck at teaching you stuff. Even if that happens, you have a chance to remedy. You know, you can come back, you can learn, you can get back on track. It will take more work, it will take more, sometimes more sacrifices, and sometimes actually less sacrifices. Because the second time around, you have a different perspective of life. The world as a whole is something that can be seen as a massive web of possibilities. And if you snap one of those wires, things will not crumble down and crush, down to the floor and everything will be over. It will only be one less string in the web. And you will have a chance to reattach that at some point. So, be afraid of life, screw-ups, is wrong. The screw-ups is sometimes the thing that actually leads you forward. When you screw something up and fail at something, that can open a different direction in life. I'm just going to tell you a short story. I had a work which I had hoped to continue with, and it was kind of things like that. But things happened, and this was at a pretty big farm. And I was working at the time, and they were working with horses and stuff like that. So I hoped to continue that path, but that door closed. They had no. They had one foal that year and the next year that they would get, so they couldn't have somebody working with the foals and the mares and stuff like that. So I found myself out of work. And because of that, I came to me and my girlfriend at the time. We were having our own horses, and we needed desperately to find a new stable and place to be. And that led us to meet a man called Rolf Olsen. That is, or was, he's not active anymore, but he was a trainer for racehorses. And when I say racehorses, I'm not talking trotting horses like we were doing. I'm talking like full-blood racehorses, and he was good. He was one of the best in Sweden to bring forward new young racehorses. And because that I lost that job, we came to stay with him for 4 years in his stable, and we learned so much, and that led us to become one of Sweden's best youth horse trainers. We became top 5 of trainers in Sweden, and we had the smallest stable among those top 5. So, screw-ups sometimes lead you forward. I hope you have enjoyed. My name is Dreamklub.